I'm all right. I'm sick, but I'm okay.
Join the club.
Do you got the coronavirus? Or what,
yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, good. We're just making sure. I mean, he'll at least be honest. Jason will be honest.
Make it a good interview because it's my last.
Oh, well, at least can we have the rights? Can I sell it to TMZ? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, man, it's all yours.
Sweet.
Go for it.
Fucking A. That's awesome. All right, so Jason, by the way, is here talking about his new book. Still awesome right now. He's sick, but he's still awesome. It was also co-written by Tully, who's, if you've listened to the Jason Ellis Show, SiriusXM 103, you know who Tully is. Tully's part of the program and everything else. You know that. But you can pick up the book, by the way, at jasonellisbook.com. Which I didn't get the book yet, so I didn't get to read it, so I'm sorry. Right on the offset, I'm going to say I didn't get to read the book, but being a fan, I think I can ask you some questions and make sure that this interview doesn't suck donkey dick. Now, if you started as a skateboarder and everything else, am I correct with that assessment?
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you started as a skateboarder, you're hanging out with Bam and doing Camp Kill Yourself stuff, and you're part of that world and all that great shit, where the hell does the leap start where you go, you know what I'm going to fucking do? I'm going to go on the radio. I'm going to take over the radio world and start the Jason Ellis Show. I'm going to be that guy. Because I remember you did something with Tony Hawk, right?
Well, that's exactly how I got into radio. Tony Hawk said, do you want to be my co-host? You're funny, and I need somebody to be funny. He wanted a musical guy and a funny guy, so he hired me to be the funny guy. I didn't know.
Did you know you were funny? Did it happen? Did you know?
I mean, I used to make him laugh when we get drunk at the bar on tour. So I think that's where he thought I'd be funny. But it was all his idea. He told them that I'd be great as a radio host.
All right, so
I didn't know.
So you're now you're his co-host at that time period. You're on Sirius.
Yep.
Back then it was just Sirius, right? Or was it SiriusXM?
No, it was just Sirius. Yep.
All right, so it's before the merger. You're now working. Yep. You're hanging out with Tony Hawk, being the co-host. Where exactly then does the media mogul of the Jason Ellis Show, like, where does that start then? Because if you're doing one thing here, how did you make the leap of faith to become the guy that's on the main mic in the power chair?
Well, they offered me a job to be a DJ, just to talk in between music on a punk channel. And I said, it was like around the time where I really wasn't that good anymore. Like, I was just hanging on by a thread, I was probably top 10 on my best day, and Virtudes are not that popular to begin with. So I was like, it's not going to be forever, so maybe I'll make a real shot at this. And I felt like when I did Tony's show that I've never been so naturally talented at anything. Because in skateboarding, I was definitely not naturally talented. I just really loved it, and I practiced a lot, so I got pretty good at it. So I figured, if you really focus like you did on skateboarding in radio, and you've got this head start by actually being gifted at it, you might be all right. So I just went for broke and moved up to LA and started talking way too much, and nobody fired me. And then at one point I was like, why are you talking so much? And I was like, well, is it that bad? People seem to like it. And then I think maybe a year later I said, why don't you just let me talk, make it a talk show? And my boss's boss said, sure. How long do you want to talk? I was like an hour, and then I'll play 2 songs. He's like, really? You think you can do that? I'm like, yeah. And then he just gave it to me, and that was it. The Jason Ellis Show started. It wasn't even, there's no buttons or no bumpers or anybody promoting. It was just let Jason say that the Jason Ellis Show starts when he starts DJing.
Well, see, that's the thing. Jason, I mean, right now he's sick and everything, but Jason has the gift for gab. He can talk about anything.
Yeah.
And like the same way, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Jason Ellis, but you give me any topic, we could talk about it and do like 4 hours on anything. We've talked about taking shits. We've talked about hookers. The same way Jason could take anything. They had a thing, aqua farts. The thing where if people farting in the tub. And boom. It's like, there you go. There's an hour right there. Jason, like, go.
That is a terrible thing to bring up.
Well, I'm saying, like, you can talk about anything. That's the thing, Jay.
This guy's a genius. He did aquafart.
Yes.
That's like great.
Somebody farted in a tub, and Jason Ellis was like, fuck it, I can do an hour on it.
Screaming farts was a better one.
Screaming farts was actually, I have to admit that, and there's a promo playing on SiriusXM where you can hear the promotion. There was one for Screaming Farts, and it will stop you in your tracks, and you'll just start fucking laughing your ass off because it's literally a dude going ah at the same fucking
it's particularly
time.
funny when his son is in the passenger seat looking at him like, what is wrong with you?
That's my daddy. It's literal, but that's what the thing is. I think that's why your show works, because you guys on the show, everybody that's on the show, literally just talk about anything. There's no,
it's very real.
Yeah, if something happens, of course, like if the Kobe Bryant thing, of course it'll come up in conversation. But you're not there to do the news. You're not there,
no.
And I think it's also what time. I think the time slot matters on your show, because on the East Coast, people already know what happened throughout the day. They don't need to regurgitate the same old shit all the time, and that's what you bring to the table. Because even the beginning of your show is insane. Just getting into the beginning, like literally into the host chat. There's a montage of stuff. You start talking on an echo thing like this.
Oh, that's where you got it from.
Yeah, King of the West. It does the King of the West, and then there's a fucking like music playing behind it, and that's just to get into the show. Yeah. That's not even the show. That's just the bridge to bring us to Jason talking on the program. So I think it's because you're doing something different. And you've been doing something different, and that's why you are one of the best shows I think that are out there when it comes to the talk format, because you're not doing what everyone else is fucking doing. You're welcome. Neither here nor there. But now also one of the things that you said, that you made an announcement like a while. I don't even know how long ago this was. That now that you are officially bisexual.
Yep.
Now.
Officially.
Yeah, officially. Before he was just practicing.
Right.
Now he's official.
You know what? I wasn't sure. That's probably why. And I wasn't trying to like have a long thought about it, because it was something I didn't want to face. I was like, maybe I just slipped a couple times when I took too many drugs. But turns out, not the case.
Not the case. You love it. It's fine. It's cool. We have a guy that's on our show.
I'm into it when I'm sober, so there it is.
He's not getting drunk and touching a dick. This is what he does. He's official. He's officially bi. It's fun. We have a guy on our show that periodically comes by.
Officially bi. I'm going to change the name of my book.
Officially bi. You can pick up Jason's book, Officially Bi. Still awesome. The bisexual Marcus, who's on our show, he's bisexual, and we've told stories of. He's of course not here today, but we've told stories. He's gone down the dark route of blowing guys in fucking weird, sticky, floored theaters and basements and weird crap.
Haunted houses.
Yeah, and weird. Yeah.
Wait, you talking about him or me?
No,
him.
Well, I don't know.
Not you.
Well,
because I do. You should read my book. I do the same thing.
Well, you see, maybe.
I think I'm just on the other end of what your guy is.
But also, I think that you can kick the shit out of anybody that tries to do some weird shit. Because, by the way, Jason Ellis, if you don't know, big into the MMA world, can kill you if he wanted to. I mean, he's not just like, oh, okay, he's a former skateboarder and radio guy. He's a tough as nails, son of a bitch that goes out there fully tattooed. When you look at him, you definitely can go, not to be fucked with.
Right.
Okay. But meanwhile, he's a cuddly little, awesome guy. I mean,
my therapist said that it's just an image that I made for myself to keep everybody away from the scared little boy that I still am today.
Well, now I feel sad.
Not that tough. I just look tough. It's all. What is that? A puff up thing.
It's all smoke and
like
mirrors.
A blowfish.
So take me through this scenario though, because reading some of the notes on the book. By the way, we're talking to Jason Ellis. He is the author of Still Awesome: The Trials and Tribulations of an Egotistical Maniac. You can get the book right now. Just Google it; you'll find it.
JasonEllisBook.com.
There you go, JasonEllisBook.com. You can get the book, get it there, learn more about it. But I want to learn from you now while I have you on the phone. What? Because you were bringing home men for three-ways with your wife, right?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, and girls too, depending.
Okay, so you are bi, so you do like both, which is cool. But now the question is, were you doing like full blown like did you go right into sex acts with the dudes?
Well, I love how hard it is for people to ask the question.
Well, because I don't want. Well, no.
Have I ever taken it? Yes, I have.
All right, wait, have you taken?
I'm more of a top, but I do that as well.
Okay, so you take it in the pooper and you fucking give it in.
All the things that you want to make fun of me when you get off the phone at the bar tonight. Yes, I did it all.
Nobody's gonna make fun of you.
First off, even though you look, you're not. I'm not a scary guy.
Right? To see a guy that looks so tough who's had a couple of cage fights might have had a penis in his butt.
That's fine. It just might make it hard for you to sit down. Other than that, I don't give a shit.
It doesn't actually make anything harder to sit down on.
Well,
believe it or not.
I do have to. See, we always ask this because we asked Marcus.
Right.
Because Marcus finally took one in the ass. Before that, he didn't take it in the ass. He would only give it.
Right.
Like he would. So when we asked Marcus, because he said it was like a weird, strange thing, has legs up. He was lying down, like kind of like on a changing table.
Are you talking about his first time ever?
Right. Yeah, first time ever in the hole.
I think first time ever is a little bit different. You know? Like I asked a girl what it was like the first time versus the hundreds.
Yeah, well, I would imagine. Well, that's what I'm saying. Having never had a dick in my ass, I don't know what that feels like. I mean, I've had we've discussed having fingers.
Right.
Yeah. See, I don't want to.
Wait, you faintly discussed it?
No.
That's edgy.
No, I've had fingers in there, but I don't have...
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I haven't had a dick.
Then how can you not imagine what it would be like to have a penis in there? It's like a couple of inches bigger than a finger.
But because I think a penis is a little bigger than a finger, and I don't think...
Yeah, but it's all your mind. My wife tried to work me on this whole thing years ago, and she couldn't even get a pinky in there. Like, we did the whole Chardonnay and a muscle relaxer, and I was like, how far is it in yet? She's like, it's not in yet, you loser. So it's like, it's your mind, man.
Right.
Like, and then once I gave up to it, and like, just was like, okay, this person isn't going to hurt me, which was my wife that did it the first time. And then from there on, I was fine.
All right, so that was like, so she's put a strap on or like pegging? What was she doing?
The first time she used a vibrator on me.
All right. So, Mike, look, I'm not afraid to ask these questions. So, if we're going down this road,
you seem a little bit tentative, to be honest.
Well, in the beginning, Jason, I also don't want to do you open up and say, "Hey, what's it like to have a dick in your ass, Mr. Ellis?" You don't just throw it out there.
If that's what you're thinking, throw it out there.
I'll definitely ask. So, when you just said you let go, now, what was the first time that you had a dude do that to you? Then,
well, that was way later. That was probably. Because I can't trust you. I don't trust anybody.
Right.
People have stuff, so I got to watch that. So I think maybe 3 years later or something like that. But
wow.
I kind of have like a boyfriend guy that I trust, and I know that he has a job and doesn't have anything that's sick on his penis. And he can't give me anything.
Right.
So yeah, that's the guy. And that's it. Really, I don't go sticking my butt, giving it up to everybody.
He does. He's not
too risky.
Yeah, he's not a trollop. He's not trying to open his ass cheeks for everybody. He's just for the
I mean, I would, but I just don't. I don't want to get anything. That's and I don't take the. There's a thing you can take, PrEP, that stops you from catching HIV.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not taking it that often to get on something that I think maybe even plays with your liver a little bit. I'm not sure about it. I haven't really looked into it that much because it's not that necessary. But if I go butt wild, then I'll probably get on that.
Now, when you were just talking about not trusting people, and not just trusting people because of the unhealthy shit and other things like that, but you had some guy on that was on your show. You came out as bi to him. He didn't say anything on your show. Then he freaking goes on Joe Rogan and he calls you the F word. I mean, I don't know if you want me to say it, but the F word for gay people.
Everybody knows what that means.
Well, I know. Fag. He said fag.
Well, I think he was a part of him was trying to be. I mean, if he was to just call me that on the radio, I mean, where do we go from there? I'll be like, wow, dude, wholly unnecessary. But trust me, dude, before he left that day, and what's her name? The champ was there. What's her name? She's
Rousey?
gay. That's how it came up. And Donald Cerrone was there in the interview, and I said to her that, what's it like being a gay fighter? Because I know what it's like being a bisexual man. And Donald was like, what the fuck? And I knew what that meant. I've been around it enough to know what that means. So it wasn't a big surprise. But I didn't know that it just came across on the podcast that it was like I almost made him angry. And I'm like, okay, that's some weak shit. But I don't know, man. Some people, I have some gay friends that find that to be incredibly offensive, and I see where they're coming from, because there's young kids out there that hear that stuff, and, some of them are thinking about suicide or drug addiction or whatnot, so I don't really appreciate it, but I also am from this macho world where I know some people don't mean to do that much hurt when they say that, but they do. But so I don't know. I'm in between, because I'm in between. So I want to support both sides.
Right.
And I get both sides, but it would be better if we were a little bit more understanding when it came to that community. But we got a long way to go.
No, absolutely, and that's the thing. Like, because I read an interview with you before where you were talking about how you don't know if the I'm going to screw it up. The LGBTQ community. There's a lot of letters, Ellis. But the thing is,
I don't know
that the B.
I can barely read. You're good.
But the B, you represent that letter, the B, and you don't feel like it gets the justification that it kind of needs, because a lot of people go, "Oh, he's just gay and he's going through a phase," and this, that, and the third, and you're like, "No, I still want to fuck my wife, but I also want dick."
Yeah, I want to fuck my wife and all her hot friends too. Way more than I want to fuck some dudes, believe it or not. But if I want to fuck dudes more than girls, I'll tell you that too. I feel like it's not so much. If you're gay and you got the gay community, they support you. If you're straight, you got the rest of the world supports you. If you're bi, you're trying to be gay in the straight community. That's what it seems like.
Yes,
it's not accepted. I mean, people aren't going to attack me because they know it's illegal, but they definitely are less of a fan. But this is the world, dude. I don't care anymore. If you don't like me, I really don't care. I'm only here for the people that are in my situation, but way younger with way less support. Well, you hear me talking about it, well, guess what? I blow dudes and I let them blow me, and I'm having an awesome life. I got tons of money. I do whatever the fuck I want. My life is great.
And
so
that's
if you're
all
me
that should matter.
And you're young, don't worry about the rest of these fools. Just enjoy yourself.
Well, that's all that should matter. Like because you said in the same interview, maybe there's a 17-year-old guy thinking about killing himself, and he sees me and thinks, hey, maybe if he can do it, I can just be myself.
Right.
That's why I think you're doing a service. I think that somebody like you, who is not, people will go, that's not the poster boy. Because people in their minds have this fucking misconception of I know gay dudes that can kick the shit out of a lot of people. They look at that, people think gay, or they think bi, or they think whatever, and they're thinking that Jason's walking around with a fucking feather boa, and being all fruity woody, and he's not. And that annoys them because they have this. Well,
I'll kick your ass
a long time. Yeah, he'll kick your ass wearing heels. He don't give a shit. But that's the thing.
I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like kicking ass doesn't make you straighter, and wearing feather shit doesn't make you gayer.
Right.
Yeah, but that's
I feel like it's just whatever you want to do in the bedroom is your thing, man. Unless you're hurting people, now we got a different thing going on here. Right. But if it's mutual adults, then I'm 100% for it.
But that's the thing I don't understand. Why does anyone give a fuck who you're fucking? I don't understand.
Because you think that there's a floating guy up in the clouds watching you, and somebody told you in a book that it was bad. That's why.
And it's weird. I know more straight people that are more fucked up than anybody in the community.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody is. So you can't say that. I've all kind of walks. Prostitutes, I know CEOs, billionaires. Everybody is tweaked, man. Everybody. Some people hide it better, but don't. I refuse to believe that somebody out there is just completely perfect at all times. They never think anything weird or have ever done anything that isn't of the ordinary. It's just, it's just sometimes men really get weird about it. It's more than girls. Men get weird about men liking men. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know either. Look, it's not let's not just stay on one topic either. Jason is bi, but the book is not about fucking just him being bi. The book is about a lot of things that stuff has gone on in his life and everything. He talked about it in other books that he's done. You lost your, it was your brother, right? At a very young age?
Yeah. Yeah, he died when he was 24.
Yeah, in a tractor accident, right? They were drunk and stole a tractor.
He hot-wired a steamroller that was up on the mountain.
Steamroller. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now,
rolled off the cliff, killed him instantly.
By the way, definitely sorry, and my condolences there. I mean, I know it happened a long time ago, but
Yep. I appreciate it, though.
No problem. Just because, like, from that, I think that would fuck you up mentally, like, in life, where you would, that's a thing you got to live through. And, like, did that change you as a person even at a young age?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it changed me completely. I mean, I was already a pretty driven person, you know, but when that happened, it's fight or flight for me. And I'm like, I'm not going down. Like, I just felt like, because my father died the year before that, and I was like, they're trying to get us, you know? Like, the Ellis family is under attack. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some babies, and I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna do some shit here, and the world's gonna remember us. So it really put a lot of drive into my radio career, because I'd already given everything I got to skateboarding. You know, I broke like 50 bones. I've been knocked out over 20 times. I ligaments and all kinds of stuff, compound fractures, and then to have the energy to give everything again to radio, I don't think I would have really had the interest if it wasn't for that need to. I just felt like my brother got ripped off, and he needed to see, like, I needed to do stuff in his name.
Yeah.
So that's what made me I moved to LA, and SiriusXM treated me like a dog because I was a dog in radio, and I'd already been a glorious pro skateboarder, and I think I was okay with it because I just had that drive again. I was like, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to be one of the biggest radio shows the world's ever seen. That's the end of it.
Well, that's the thing. You did tell everybody that, too, as you would go on that track. My show's going to be...
Yeah, no, it was... Well, it works. Dude, I did it in skateboarding. Like I said, I'm really untalented. I'm really not athletic, and I was top 3 in the world. And it was just because I fucking lived for it at all times. Mm-hmm. You know, that's it. That's the key.
Well, that's the thing. And like, one of the motivating factors, one of the reasons why I respect Jason Ellis is that he's worked from nothing and turned himself into a guy that has a 5-day-a-week radio program that a lot of people
You can't say works away from nothing. I got Tony Hawk to get my foot in the door, so there is that.
Well, no.
That was a big help.
Okay, yes, one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name in fucking pro skateboarding, did open the door, a crack for you, Jay. But what I'm saying is you still, if you sucked, here's the difference. In radio, you had a lot of chances, don't get me wrong, because of who you were and what you did and what channel you were on, and being the third... number 3 fucking skateboarder in the world and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, it got your name out there, and you got a lot of chances that others might not have gotten. But if you sucked, Jay, you wouldn't be on the fucking air. That's the difference. And you surround yourself with a lot of great guys on that show who do help out and feed that beast, that talkative beast that is Jason Ellis, and make the show great. That is, but you have to understand, you don't suck as much as you think you suck. All right. I mean, you do in a different way, but you don't.
Compliments I've had. Thank you.
It wasn't even backhanded. That was accurate. He doesn't suck as much as he thinks he sucks.
He's always helping people. Believe it or not, when you listen to his show, he'll say things and it goes off, and people take it different ways. But then, if somebody calls up and has a problem, he'll sit there and work with them and help them. He's always giving back to people.
And that's the thing. Because in deep inside, he's a cuddly little guy.
But
he's
out to really help people.
Yeah.
He was given an opportunity, he ran with it, and everything worked well, so now he's giving back and helping.
I don't want to ruin the mystique, Bill, but Jason Ellis is not a dick. That's the thing. And the thing, and what's funny, what's even more funny is that Jason Ellis, how I got even into know this guy even existed was he went on Stern a bunch of times.
Right.
Hold on, Jay. I have the picture in my room. It's my office. In my office, of that Jason Kaplan took of you fully naked and George Takei grabbing your dick.
Yep.
And that was the episode. I'm like, this motherfucker is going to go all out, and excuse the expression, but balls to the wall, and he's going to go all out, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make that fucking show a success. And I have what I'm going to do as the audience, I have to now listen to it. I got to give him a chance. I got to turn the fucking thing on SiriusXM. I got to wait to hear the Jason Ellis Show, 5 o'clock, by the way, Eastern Standard Time, SiriusXM, channel 103. I have to go and give it a chance and listen because he's on the King of All Media's fucking show, naked, with a guy and Sulu from Star Trek is giving him pretty much a handy. And I have a picture of it, by the way, and it's autographed by Jason Kaplan, who took it. But the thing is, it's funny because that was the part where you go, this guy is kind of like me. I do everything to make sure that this show is gonna happen, a success. I book, we do everything. Jason Ellis makes sure he's gonna do whatever it fucking takes for me to listen to that show. He did that. I went, I gotta give this guy a fucking shot. I gotta listen to his show. And then, boom, now I'm a fan. Like, it started that simple. That he went out there and you saw that he was going to do that.
In other words, you use that pitch as an inspiration.
It comes off weird when you say
That's
it, Ricky.
what it is.
I'm just saying, like, inspiration
Get
how?
naked, man, just like me. You can do anything you want.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you're slightly in better shape than me, Jay. Jesus. That's a fucking understatement.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, yes, it was just funny because I remember watching it on at that time he had the on-demand, the Howard on-demand the channel, and watching the whole episode and learning about Jason. It's still Wire. It's fun. Learning about Jason and, like, this guy, because there's a lot of guys in radio that come out. Let's be fucking honest. There's a lot of guys out there that shouldn't be behind a mic. There are tons of guys and girls.
Yeah, you got that
there are a lot of people that shouldn't be on the mic. And then there are people that are busting their fucking ass to just be heard. And that's all you were doing. You weren't doing anything like, you weren't like, oh, yeah, I'm taking over the fucking Sirius. On your show, you would say that, right. King of the West and everything. But at that moment in time, you were just like a fan being interviewed by Howard Stern, talking about your fucking show, going, this is what and I'm willing to do extra. He also put M&M's in his fucking his foreskin.
That's how I got on there. You know that
against Sal because he was willing to do that. Yeah. Have a pouch
I pitched that. That wasn't even my idea. That was Reverend Bob Levy had that idea, and he was like, "You're uncircumcised." He's like, "You should pitch that to him," and I did, and then they had me in. Otherwise, I don't think I'd ever be on there. See? They were like, "Some dude's going to put M&M's in his foreskin. We'll give him a go." And then ever since then, they were like, "Yeah, man, keep doing stuff with your dick, and you can come in."
And then Jason took that to heart. Jason's been doing stuff with his dick ever since.
I know I seem like the guy that gets negative parties, and I'm not. And I just thought, if they want that, and I'll make it as funny as I possibly can. Right. I took it so serious.
Yeah.
I was trying to be so funny, so serious right before I was on air. It meant so much to me. So it was one of those things where, even if it didn't work, I looked at it as such a big deal to be on the Howard Stern show, to have a conversation with Howard Stern. To me, it was talking to a god, So it was just like the greatest day ever. All after it, I was just like, oh my God, did that really happen? That really happened. I just tried to rub out a bit of my dick involved in it, but whatever. People seem to think it was funny.
But you got the rub from the King of All Media, who told everybody to listen to your show.
Yeah. He did. He played my show. I've been there like 3 or 4 times. He's played some of my show while I'm on there. The dude has always hooked me up.
Yeah. By the way, Nick, our Canadian Unified Network technician, we call him Cunt, has a picture of Jason Ellis bare ass showing George Takei's penis, and the look on George Takei is amazing right now. Don't worry, we don't see your dick. It's just
where do you have all these pictures? What the fuck?
It's on Bing.
The Canadian finds everything.
No pun intended.
Yes.
I'm not going there.
Let me tell you right now, our cunt digs deep, and he finds whatever we need, and he does it. All the way from Canada, by the way. In another country, he's finding naked pictures of Jason Ellis. But you want to read about Jason Ellis, please go to Still Awesome, The Trials and Tribulations of an Egotistical Maniac, and you can get that book at the one and only JasonEllisBook.com. You can also listen to Jason Ellis every day, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Of course, it's another time somewhere else. But 5 p.m. because I'm on the East Coast.
I'm East. I'm the East Coast and West Coast afternoon drive. There's a replay immediately after, so it's back to back.
Boom!
Got both coasts covered.
On SiriusXM channel 103, it's called Faction Talk. Right after the one and only Ron Bennington and the show Bennington, you get Jason Ellis and the Jason Ellis Show. Jason, thank you for being on the show. It's been a trip. It's been awesome. And I'm glad that I can have this conversation with you. It's a great thing, man.
Yeah. No, you guys are too kind. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Hey, you know what? Get over that coronavirus and feel better, all right, bro?
All right. If I die, it's all your fault.
Absolutely.
I'm joking. Thanks,
Later,
guys.
Jay.